The new Srixon ZXi Fairway Wood has a brand new face technology that's helping golfers hit better fairway wood shots this year. We'll tell you everything you need to know in this edition of the Swing Report. Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald of Second Swing Golf, here with Jake Montgomery in the tour vein at Second Swing at Minnetonka for the new fairway wood, Srixon ZXi. Jake, full disclosure, we just did the driver video.
Yes.
We filmed it here, and we were very, very impressed with the drivers. And so now I've got the fairway wood. First impression, looking at this one.
Yeah, I mean, just like the drivers, very simplistic look.
Yeah.
Pretty clean lines on it. I always like a driver that has just, or a metal wood that always has a little line right here on the top. Just makes it easier for me to kind of line up the square to the ball. Big fan of kind of the gloss on the bottom too. I think it ties everything together, makes it look very, very good.
It seems like almost like the last couple of generations of the woods were sort of leading to this. Like it really seems, I don't know if that's actually the story behind the R&D and whatnot behind this, but it seems like it's really led to this point for Srixon in the woods for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, the main face tech is the iFlex. This is new this year. It's kind of a new face thickness pattern throughout. It's really throughout their all their metals.
Yep.
And the idea there is, of course, the better performance on the miss hits, and then some really hot ball speeds off the center of the face. Also, the rebound frame is in effect as well. Those flex zones that kind of help with the energy transfer at impact. Also, the crown step as well. So the carbon crown and a crown step, that's where this kind of line that you're referring to is. Yep. It is on the 3+ and the 3 wood. So there's a 3+ at 13.5 and a 3 wood at 15. Other lofts include 15, 18, and 21. So you have a full lineup and full range of lofts. You, of course, have that 7 wood, which 7 woods are becoming more and more popular, as we know. A lot kind of packed in there, but I am, if the bar is pretty high set from the driver. So what else do you think we're going to see from the ZXi Fairway Wood here?
Well, if the ZXi follows what we saw in the drivers, I'd expect a really consistent spin rate.
Yeah.
The drivers were also launching fairly high, and they were, I would say, in kind of the more mid-spin range. Like, they weren't extremely low-spinning drivers, but they were very consistent. So I'd expect to see fairly decent amount of height here, some pretty good spin, and most importantly, consistent spin.
All right, well, today, for this video, I'm going to be the one hitting the shots today, so I'm excited to get after it here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, first impression look-wise, it almost looks like, like a Sim or even like an M5 from TaylorMade back in the day, where
line on there.
the step in front, except they had theirs with the stripe on it. They kind of had it, painted white. It looks like it's one of those, but they just kept it all matte black.
Yep.
So it's interesting, but I like the line there though, as it does kind of help with alignment in a way.
Good one right off the bat.
Yeah, that was hit really well. Ooh, there's some low spin too.
Yeah.
That's plenty of speed though. I don't think I need any more speed.
No. 149 out of a fairway wood right off the bat.
Did not hit that one quite as good, but I'm curious to see what happens. Yeah, that was a toe shot for sure. It actually turned out okay. So the main, for me, a couple of things with the way I use 3 woods. I rarely hit one off the turf.
Yep.
It's probably really never happens. It's more of a tee club for me. But also because I come into the ball so like even neutral, sometimes I'm maybe even hitting up on 3 wood.
Yes.
That spin is going to be low
100%.
for me. So, I mean, I think most people, you'd probably, if they're actually trying to hit it to, a club that they're going to use to hit onto the green, you'd probably want a spin rate in like by 3,000 or so.
I'm shooting for 33 to 3,500 for the lowest lofted fairway in someone's bag.
Yeah.
For you, I'd definitely put you more so into like a 5 wood.
Yeah, right. Or a 7 wood, which is on the channel we may or may not have some what's in my bag related content in terms of what's being added to the bag this year, because my 3 wood I do not use in terms of trying to hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
To a green, or at least rarely do I. It could be pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
Turn over a little bit.
Closed on you.
But it's still, that ball speed's high. I mean, I'm pretty consistent with the ball speed there.
For sure. That's a good one.
That was melted as well. Yep.
Beauty.
That was, again, slightly toe, which actually, if you look at the wear mark of my current 3 wood, it is totally like right in this kind of towards the toe area. It's
Yeah.
just what I do, which helps with chasing distance, right? I mean, I'm nearing 300 yards with this thing.
I mean, that's the same spot Colin Morikawa hits his, right in that toe.
Yeah, me and Colin Morikawa, we're pretty
neck and neck.
Yep. When you think of Colin Morikawa, you also think of Drew Mahowald. That started a little farther right.
Still maintained really good ball speed. Yeah, just a little up on the face.
Yep, that's the open face.
But spin rate's not changing too much.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one. Ball speed's real consistent.
That'll turn over some. Oh yeah, not as much.
300-yard 3-wood.
I think we're gonna have to try now. We'll get one more swing.
Yeah.
I'll really go after it here, see if I can get to 300 yards. But yeah, the spin is consistently, it's low for me, but it's consistent. And I do like how it feels. It feels really powerful. And again, it looks really, really good.
That could do it.
Could. Ooh. I went after it. 111 club speed is about as fast as I'm going to get with 3-wood, I think.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, that's up there.
But nonetheless, I mean, this thing is awesome. Like it's fast. My spin rates were pretty darn consistent for the most part. Now they're a little low, and we talked about why. But for my sake, this is actually could definitely go in my bag. Look how consistent the distances were too.
Yeah. 4 yards for variation.
Yeah, that's really good. So yeah, for my purposes, this is absolutely an option where like I might even crank her down, or maybe you can go to that 13 and a half kind of 3+ model
100%.
and have a sort of a second tee option where on a hole where I need something that's a little bit more controlled, or is a little something, just maybe a little bit more confidence that I need to know I'm going to hit a fairway versus my driver.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is really an option for sure. Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of players kind of go into that, especially with the popularity of mini drivers from the Callaway and TaylorMade models. Yeah, I mean, for you, if we wanted a fairway wood where we're going to be landing this on greens, we definitely shoot for something with a little higher launch, higher spin rates. But for an off-the-tee kind of club, I mean, the numbers out of this were really, really good.
Yeah, I think, we'll talk about it in final thoughts a little bit, but there's certainly a use for someone with a fast swing speed like me. And then in terms of the performance too and consistency of it, there's also the application for a lot of golfers as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So Jake, testing complete there of the ZXi Fairway Wood. Ton of speed. Of speed. That's what I got out of it from testing. 148 average smash factor, really good.
Yep.
And then the spin rate consistency was also impressive. Didn't quite match what we had with the drivers in that video, but still very good. And we also saw that thing. I mean, I was nearing 300 yards, and I think the cool part is that there are so many loft options too that you can go to. You go up to 18 or 21 as well for someone, and maybe like me that might need maybe 2 of these, maybe a 13 and a half and say an 18 or a 21.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so in terms of the tech, and then of course the golfers that are going to play this thing, we kind of talked about, but there's a lot of uses for this.
For sure. I mean, this fairway wood in particular could kind of span a wide range of players. It'd kind of be like the Ping G430 of the past, where there's one model. I mean, they have the LST as well, but this is what 90% of people are going to play. So, I mean, it fits all handicappers, high or low. We just kind of fine-tune things by hosel setting, the loft that we're going to play. Because, I mean, the way everyone delivers it is differently. I could have a high-speed player that's down 4 or 5 degrees that needs to play a 13.5 just to keep the height down, or a player like yourself that might deliver it a little higher, which we need more loft just to kind of get some peak height. So there's definitely an option for every golfer. It just kind of comes down to what loft and what setting are we going to put you in.
Yeah, I mean, the ZXi Fairway Wood, I think there's enough versatility with this hosel and then also the various loft options where, as you were mentioning, a lot of different golfers can play this club. It's just going to be about, from there, getting the right fit in terms of shaft.
For sure.
And also how the loft fits in with the rest of your bag. But really impressive performance, I think. You're going to get a lot of ball speed. You're going to get a lot of consistency and some forgiveness on those miss hits. I hit plenty off the toe in this testing, and it was still keeping up with everything else, if not even going a little further.
Yeah.
So golfers, go get fit for Srixon ZXi today. Get with someone like Jake in the bay and get dialed in with your long game. You're going to play better with one of these in the bag. So Jake, thanks for joining today and helping me with the testing.
Thanks for having me.